Hey, Hound Dogs. I'm David Hankins,
I'm Paul Hankins.
and you're on the air with Power Squared. Tonight we have a guest that we've seen a few times here. I think you're making your 10th appearance on the show, Lucas Scheffel. Hey, Lucas.
Hey guys,
And
hey guys, how are you?
you're wearing the Five Timer
I'm,
T-shirt.
I'm wearing
Yeah,
the five timer
yeah,
t-shirt because you
yeah.
guys didn't send me a 10 one.
We thought about it, but we weren't sure it'd be worth it. No, I'm joking.
Maybe no budget for it this time around. Maybe I don't know. Who
Well,
knows?
it was special when you were.
I know, I know. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, anyway. So we're here to talk about just life in general, but also specifically
Yeah.
about your upcoming Kickstarter for
hmm
Ned Kelly and the Five Revolvers.
yeah, that's right. So it's funny. This podcast, like tomorrow my time, I was actually meant to be launching Ned Kelly and the Five Revolvers, and I had a few setbacks, which is not something I've experienced before when doing a Kickstarter, but there's just been a lot of roadblocks in my way with this one. I don't know why. It's really made me kind of question a few things in life and
Oh, wow.
why we do things creatively. But and it has a lot to do with the subject matter of this Kickstarter. So Ned Kelly and the Five Revolvers is basically a story about. It's a fictionalized story. It's not real, but I'm taking historical characters.
Historical fiction,
But,
that's fine.
but hey, like you say what, but like the rest, there's parts of Australia that take this very seriously.
I'm
So
sure they do,
I've
yes.
got to be careful what I say here. But Ned Kelly is basically what you guys would call an outlaw in the Wild West. So like that sort of thing. But over here, we called them bush rangers back in the day, and they would roam the Australian bush. Steal from rich people, rob banks, murder people as well. There's that side of things too.
Yeah. The Outlaws here
And
didn't kill people, by the way. I'm joking.
they didn't. Okay.
Oh, no, I don't know where that got from. Yeah.
Yeah. So with this story, I've had this bouncing around in my head for a very long time, and it was like very much the first comic book story that I created, like as a 10-page sort of look at Ned Kelly as a historical figure in Australian history, but then I put a sci-fi twist on it about an alien who comes down and teaches him how to create the famous armor that he wore. So Ned Kelly.
Yeah, I was expecting you to be wearing armor when you came on the show, by the way, but that's all right.
Yeah,
Because you wore a gorilla suit one time, so just.
it's funny you say that. I did actually find someone in Australia who makes these helmets, and there's a few reasons as why I haven't actually gone around and bought one, but maybe
I'm
I'll
sure
get to
they're
that
expensive.
But yeah, so that story there was something that I created before I did Angry Fred, before I did the Angry Squad. It's just a little test piece, and then like fast forward. Late last year, I got invited to go down to Melbourne for a 2-day workshop through
We're going to
an
talk about that
initiative
too.
from the
Yeah.
Australian government with Creative Australia.
Yeah.
And so I did a 2-day workshop to learn about fundraising. And by doing the workshop, it has allowed me to unlock a stack of money from the government, basically, if I fund my Kickstarter, and they'll match every dollar. So I'm going to go for 5,000 Australian. If I'm successful at the end of that, which I'm going to be,
Okay.
they'll
Confidence. All right.
match every dollar, so it'll extend it up to 10. So I can put
Wow.
that towards the book and more books and whatever, do whatever I need to do.
Wow.
Obviously, don't
Jeez.
go on holiday or anything like that.
We're not getting anything like that here.
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's funny.
No.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Australia's like that. They have government initiatives that look after the arts, but
That's
there's
nice.
a little bit of gatekeeping there as well. But anyway, that's another story.
Is that one of your delays or anything? Or
No. Everything is fine on that end. Everything sort of ticks the boxes when it comes to that. It's just this story. The story is done. It's in the phase of getting the artwork created at the moment, but it's been just a real struggle to. My artist that I'm working with Vicar is great. It's just trying to time things and keep on deadlines has been very, very tricky. And there's been a few setbacks in the way of just character designs and what I wanted to show in this book, and getting it very particular because it's set in late 1880s Australia. So it's in a time where these outlaws, bushrangers roamed about. But it's got like, it's not the same dimension as they were in. It is a parallel dimension or a different universe, so to speak, that has remnants of old technology around the place. And people don't realize that these bushrangers, they were plucked from their own different timelines over the space of like, say, 10 years. And they were plonked into this world, and they've just been around as sort of like nomads, just feeling around them. And there's myths about these guys that exist. And in the story, a young girl was sort of confronted when her sister has been snooping in the wrong places, looking at what the authorities or government officials are sort of trying to uncover in a cave somewhere that's in a mountain. And they find like an old relic and an old what do you call it, painting of something of that references Ned Kelly and the 5 revolvers, which is this mythical thing about these bushrangers that once were in the land, who can unlock another dimension that can allow us to access gold that can help this universe, because gold in this universe can help people time travel.
Okay.
So that's the story in a nutshell. So this woman, her sister dies, and she's like, well, she wants to avenge the death of her sister, but her baby gets stolen at the same time by the bad guys. And so she has to go find these myths of Ned Kelly and all these other bushrangers that exist in this world, and she has to recruit them to help her go fight.
So how long is this book?
It's 50 pages.
Wow, okay.
It's massive.
I was thinking
50 pages. Yeah. It's not something I'm like, what I've done before with Gary Guerrilla, which was only, I don't even know how long this was. What was it? Someone remind me. I think it was only 22 pages.
Yeah.
Or 28, something like that. But it's a big epic saga, and like, I've got the support of the government as well on this one, so I've had to take my time a little bit to just try and make sure I'm on a deadline as well, so I've got to try and tick a few boxes to make sure I'm giving it enough tension, but like making sure we're working at a fast enough pace where we're not losing quality, but we're still keeping on track. So yeah. Okay. There's that, and then there have been other setbacks, just in some of the responses. I'm getting a lot of positive response around this, but there have been a lot of negative responses, and it's rightly so. There's sort of a division when it comes to Ned Kelly in our history in Australia, because he was one of the last bushrangers that sort of made a bit of a stand by wearing, this is a money tin, by the way. It's got no money in it, so it sort of defeats the purpose. But he wore this armor in his final stand when the police shot him down, and him and his gang wore the same armor that they forged in the bush out of farming plows or farming machinery. So, and he's a figure that was on the wrong side of the law, but there's part of the population in Australia that sympathizes with that and are anti-government and look at Ned Kelly as some sort of symbol of heroism, Australian folklore, standing up for the little man sort of thing. But then there's another part that look at him, and rightly so, as someone who murdered or killed policemen, held up people, caused havoc, and that sort of thing. So there's two sides, and it gets very, very debated over the years. Even when books come out or they make movies about this character, it just always divides people. And I copped a little bit of that flack when I released a Facebook ad recently promoting my Kickstarter. A lot of people came out of the woodwork and were just messaging me personally, but leaving comments on this ad. I don't understand. There's a lot of variables at play, a lot of gray area. So for me, it's like, that there's played into sort of like the delays of getting this thing up as well.
Okay.
It sort of took a bit of some hits here and there, but yeah. But in a nutshell, so this is going to be, this story is not going to be historically accurate. There are going to be things in there, if you know who these bushrangers were and some of the events that happened, I'm going to weave that into the story. But as someone coming in fresh, you just see this as a story about, a bunch of heroes or villains, whichever side you feel they're on, that are been pulled out of the woodwork and have to, help save a community and be of service to mankind. So
Okay.
that's where I'm at with that. So yeah.
Okay. Your video's a little
Is it?
off.
Is it?
Just-
Okay.
I don't know.
Sorry. See if I can fix it. Yeah.
Officially kick off then?
Sorry, what was that? I missed that, guys.
When does your Kickstarter kick off?
Okay, so the date that I have chosen now is going to be the 9th of March.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And what sort of rewards are you going to have?
So I'm gonna go back to basics with this one. I'm gonna obviously have, a PDF digital reward that everyone can get. It's gonna be a standalone one, which is just the book, just pages from the book, and then I'm gonna have a deluxe digital PDF version, which is gonna have a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of historical facts about these characters from Australian history. So that's gonna be like a little bit more, pay a little bit more money for that to get a deluxe edition. And then I'm going to have just the standalone books in 2 variations, like one main cover and one variant cover.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to be offering another reward with what do you call it? Some artwork from the artist Vika, who's working on the book. She's going to create some special hand-drawn sketches of some of the characters, which people can own themselves. So it's going to be something very tangible you can touch, and it's going to be drawn on paper. And then we're going to add in some drawn in tiers, more so on the covers this time. So if you want a cover with yourself on it as a special edition, you can get that as well. But I'm going to keep it very basic this time. I'm not going to offer T-shirts, figurines.
No Lego figures of Ned Kelly.
Not this time. No. Just the cost. The cost of those things are very, very tricky to work out.
I like the Gary Gorilla one.
That was fun.
I have it on our Empire State Building.
Your Empire State Building.
Yeah. Okay. So, when you talk about the special edition so I'm going to buy a physical copy because that's just the kind of guy I am.
Yeah.
Is the special edition going to feel like hand-tooled leather or anything like that? There's a company here called Time Life Books. They put out a whole thing about the West, and the books look like hand-tooled leather, which I'm sure would be really expensive to pull off.
Playing to that,
Yeah.
I'm going to go into the whole foil cover thing, play into that
Okay.
when it comes to special editions. So
Wow.
I can't show anything at the moment, but the font that on the cover has room to be, foily.
When you say foil cover, what is that actually going to be?
I don't have an example here. I don't know what you guys call it over there.
I think they call it foil covers. I was just kind of curious. But
that was reminding me the Starbarians Indiegogo campaign. The physical book has a foil cover.
Okay. All right.
I think that means certain elements are
Foil.
okay.
Okay.
Shiny or glossy.
And
just like the letters will be shiny. So
okay. Oh, that's cool. I just
Yeah, they'll look like a metal. It'll look like a metal feel. Like the title will, you can move it in the light and it'll reflect.
If you had a picture of him with that helmet on, you could make that metal. That'd be really cool. But that's just me.
Yeah. Well, you must know. You must know what my cover artwork looks like then. It's very, very shiny.
Oh, that should be very interesting. So this starts March 9th. Is that March 9th your time or March 9th?
March 9th my time. So it'll be.
You're a day ahead, right? So it'd be the 8th?
Yeah, it'd be the 8th for you guys. So
okay.
technically, you can jump on board early.
Hey, I've already, you know, I'm supposed to be there when you launch it, so I'm waiting. I had my whole weekend planned around it being tomorrow, but okay, I'll throw that out. Start
I'm
something
sure
else.
you did. I'm sure you could have been doing something else. Yeah.
No, we're just waiting by the computer with my hand on
What's
the.
going on here? Why isn't he launched yet?
That's right, my cursor right over the. Oh, yeah. Waiting. No.
Weeks later.
Yeah.
It's like that in SpongeBob. It's like 2 hours later. It's like 5 days later.
Yeah. So I don't know if we know that you went to this government class or seminar or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Workshop,
what?
Workshop.
Workshop.
It's not like,
okay.
it's not like there were any government officials there.
No, but it was government sponsored, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, what secrets did you learn that you can share with us? Because probably no one's really watching. So.
Yeah. What stays in the room? I don't know. What happens in the room stays in the room. No.
In the tree, part of the tree.
Yeah. Fight Club. Yeah. That whole. Yeah. Look, to be honest, the big thing I got out of it was I learned that this might sound weird, but I learned that it's okay to ask people for money when it comes to creating artistic endeavors, and not be afraid to ask people, because at the end of the day, people don't know. You don't know what people you think you know are capable of contributing to your project. That was one of the biggest takeaways I got, because I thought maybe in your head you go, well, I can't approach them because X, Y, and Z, they may have to pay off a mortgage, or this person here is not interested in what I'm doing. But
right.
We don't know that. So always put the power in the person that you're asking asking for any sort of money or fundraising, and you might be surprised. That was one big takeaway I got. But they taught us sort of like different scenarios on how to approach these things. For me, it was like I came in with a lot of stuff I already knew, and I was kind of helping a lot of the people around me understand how the Kickstarter platform works and how that rolled.
How do you spell Kickstarter?
Which was good, which was great. But I learned a lot as well, because they brought in people from the previous year that were successful, and they brought them in, and we got to talk. I met another comic guy that I know. He came in and talked about what he did, and I learned a few things from him, like utilizing things like backer kit, or how to nurture your email list a bit better, and all that sort of stuff. But it was really interesting for other people who were fundraising, say theater productions or artistic sculptures. They talked about how they could hold fundraising dinners where they basically would get people in a room and get wine sponsored and basically liquor everyone up and
and hit them up for
roll
money.
out sort of thing. Yeah, hit them up for money. So there was that tactic as well. It was like, oh, that's interesting. I
never thought of that.
Once everyone's cheerful and a bit happy after they've had a few drinks, it's like, anything could happen. So there was little things like that was being exposed to. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. But it was just good. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
No, it was just good to be in a room full of people that actually were all doing something artistically, which kind of for me, I didn't think existed anymore. But maybe I'm hanging out with the wrong people.
You're hanging out with us, which is a problem. No, but there's I mean, that's the nice thing about Kickstarter is there's a lot of different things that get funded. Now, was this just about Kickstarter? Did they talk about Indiegogo or other platforms out there?
So when it came to the crowdfunding platforms, they did mention Indiegogo, obviously Kickstarter. They did mention BackerKit.
Okay.
And there's kind of like Australia has their own sort of platform called the Australian Cultural Fund, and it's very much set up similar to a Kickstarter. The only thing with that is you can't put any reward tiers on there. You just
please send money.
Yeah. It's just literally donate, and you can set it up exactly the same. So it's a very, very different sort of. But with that, you can extend it over months or keep it just going on forever if you wish. But, yeah.
Is that different between something like Patreon or GoFundMe or something? I mean,
it's a little bit different, yeah.
Like
it's
Patreon,
sort of,
you have to come up with something all the time.
Yeah, you have to come up with.
Yeah, because Patreon is a subscription.
Right. Okay. But I mean, would this be like GoFundMe with just an open-ended?
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like
Okay.
an open-ended sort of thing. But so there was that side of things, and then there was other, the other side of the coin where it's like, how do we raise money by just going into a business and talking to someone, or we arrange a meeting with someone who's in a high position of a company who has access to money, or they have a cultural fund, or they have some sort of fund that they have to give money to. Like we have they taught us tactics of like, we have a chain here, a stationary chain called Officeworks. We can buy printers and pens and all that. I'm sure you guys have something similar with like Staples or something like
Office
that.
Max, Staples,
Like
Office
that.
Depot, yeah.
Yeah, Office Depot. So they taught us with that. It's like you can go down to your local Officeworks store and talk to the manager and say, do you have any budget to print me up some large posters for when I'm tabling at a convention or for my fundraising event? And they have these stores have in Australia at least, they have a set budget that they have to give away to the community per month, to show that they're providing value to the
that's kind of cool.
the community and so forth. So little tricks like that popped up, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, I didn't know about that either. We can send you some things we need done, and you can.
Yeah.
We need some posters for WonderCon. Could you please send them up? Make it a rush order too, by the way. Thanks. No, that's. I mean, it sounds very like that they're trying to help you achieve your artistic goals.
Yeah. It was enlightening, and it gave me sort of confidence to know that. And it was because I always come from this background of like growing up, everyone's like, oh, you're not going to make a living out of being artistic. You always have that in the back of the year. Go get a trade, become a doctor, get a stable job, that sort of thing. And it's like, that's fair enough. But it was good to be in a room where, you had this one guy, he was a business advisor just for creative people, just for creative businesses. And this guy knew everything about film, television, graphic novels. He knew like everything. And he's a good guy now to have in my network. I've contacted him a few times after this, and I've kept in touch. So it's opened up little doorways like that. And now they have state managers for every state of Australia that are a part of this initiative. So I can just book a call with them for an hour whenever I like and just talk like I am with you guys about, random stuff like that I'm trying to work through, or is this a good idea? What other opportunities are there out for me?
Does he go, Lucas, it's 3 a.m. I really...
What are you doing? I'm
Yeah,
trying to sleep. I'm going to take my kid to soccer tomorrow.
No, that's great. I mean, that's a great infrastructure for creativity.
It is, yeah. It was fun.
Now, you may not want to admit it, but they're on because I signed up for it. There's another Kickstarter that's out there somewhere, someday going to happen. Angry Fred #3, Battle of Relics.
Yeah. Yes, Battle of the Relics. Yep. What would you like to know?
Well, is that ever going to happen? No, as I say, waiting by the computer.
Okay.
No,
One eternity later.
I sleep a few hours and I'm right back there. Come on, Lucas, come on. No, but
Angry Squad 3 should have happened like now. Like should have happened sooner rather than later. But I got this opportunity to do this Ned Kelly story. So I don't know. I can't see the government sort of funding Angry Fred, to be honest. But
were they interested in the Ned Kelly part of it?
That was the project I pitched to them in my application. I thought like, for me it was like, I feel like this has an essentially Australian flavour to it. Not that my dad lived in this country for 50 odd years, but I felt like this was a little bit more aligned with something about our history and so forth. I thought I might give that a try because it just made sense to me. But yeah, Angry Squad 3 is called Battle of the Relics. Relic being Angry Fred is a relic, and dinosaurs are a relic. So if you've read the first Angry Squad book, at the end, they basically have to take on a bunch of dinosaurs that are controlled by some sort of robotic mind control system.
Sure.
Natural.
It's hinted at the end very, very subtly. So this story is going to take place basically at that right after that moment where they have to deal with these dinosaurs, and it's going to take you to an island in the middle of nowhere where we find out more about Angry Fred's history, and an old lady that was responsible for making him into who he was sort of emerges. And there's a lot of back and forth. So it's again action adventure, a lot of fun thrills. There's going to be Cadillacs in there. Angry Fred's going to be driving an old Cadillac through the jungle, and he's going to be jumping over T-Rexes and so forth. So yeah, it's very just insane.
So it's based on what happened to your father in real life. Okay.
Yeah, it's exactly based on him. Yeah, what he went through back in the day. When he stumbled across an island and saw a car, and he's like, "I'll take that for a drive," and then all of a sudden there was a T-Rex.
No Elvis in this one. No.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It's just, it's my playground, those books. So I'm just having some fun with that. So the script for that is actually written. It's actually there. It's all there. It's just getting into the next stage of getting some preliminary artwork, sort of. Yeah. So solid in focus. So it wouldn't take too long to get that one up and running.
That's cool. I look forward to it. Now, something else that I wanted to ask you about, and it sort of hurt, but you were voted favorite guest on a podcast. And I was
it wasn't your podcast, was it?
I know, no, it wasn't our podcast.
I'm 10 times.
I know. You're our favorite guest, but I mean, this was the audience voting on you. I think we have an audience big enough to vote.
So have you guys heard of Cody Johnson and the Comic Chat Authority YouTube channel?
No.
He's based out of Florida. Okay. From what I understand, for the last couple of years, he's been interviewing people on his YouTube show, like people like me, people like you, but then like people that have worked for Image Comics, or quite well-known people in the industry, like from artists to publishers to writers and all that, that sort of thing. And he got me on the show, I think late last year, and then earlier this year, I think it was it earlier this year? No, late last year it was. I can't remember what it was. He held a People's Choice poll for people to vote for their favorite show on his channel, and I happened to just win that. So
wow. So how did he find you?
He randomly reached out to me through Instagram, I believe it was, and just had a chat to me, and I was already following him. Watched a couple of his shows here and there, so yeah, his shows are very compact. It's very much. I feel like I don't know how long the episode was that I was on, but it was like 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes.
Oh, so we're over time.
Yeah, 2 hours later. No, yeah, he had he's very specific questions. He got up really early in the morning to do it, like on his end for some random reason.
It's probably a comedy in you, probably.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so it was fun. You should definitely check it out. It's an interesting channel. There's some interesting.
What is it again? What's it called?
It is called the Comic Chat Authority. You just type that into YouTube, and it comes up with a bunch of. I think, from what I understand, he's stopped interviewing people.
Sure, of course.
He's taking a rest. So
yeah, some people do that.
Yeah.
Well,
but I admire what you guys do. You're so consistent.
We try to be.
I always admire consistency. No, you are. There are people. You guys are so consistent. I've never seen anyone so consistent. Your newsletters are out on time. Your show's always out on time. Everything about your books are out on time. It's great.
We try.
Awesome.
Well, thanks. It's nice to hear.
But so, you guys are going to WonderCon. Is that correct?
We're going to WonderCon. Yeah. At the end of the month. It's our. Yeah. I'll say it's our first time in the big leagues of cons. So yeah, because.
So that's like, what sort of size are we talking?
It's sort of a. I think it's bigger. I'll say it's bigger than LA Comic Con, but not near as big as San Diego Comic Con.
No.
And it's related to Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con. It's their other little. They used to have this and another ape or something.
Yeah.
And so they had other
alternative
little
press.
Expo. Yeah, they used to have little other cons, and so they still have this one. So this is in Anaheim, and we're going to be in small press, and we're there for the 3 days. So it should be. As I say, it's kind of our step into the bigger leagues of cons.
Yeah. So what sort of? How big's your table and like?
It's an 8-foot table.
8 foot.
Yeah, and it'll be kind of the same setup we had at LA Comic Con, but hopefully people will buy books. Yeah. So
Are you approaching it differently this time? Like, are there some things that you want to improve on, or you just got to go back in with the same sort of?
I think we'd be changing it up a little.
Yeah, we've learned how to beg better, and as people walk by, look sad, please help.
Grab them.
No, we're also going to be introducing Trevor's book, The Blade of Miracles. So that'll be the first 2 issues will be available there in small quantities, and then we're going to have a lot of the same stuff, but we're going to have our next issue will have come out by then. Issue 24, which was also written by Trevor, but not drawn by Trevor.
Right.
So. So yeah, and it's a different artist than the previous 17 issues had been, but it should be good.
Yeah, that's all traveling well with the artist and.
Yeah, we had Rachel, who drew it from issue 6 to 23, decided to leave us and pursue other. Opportunities. She's still part of the, I'll say, Power Squared family. She drew a couple of covers for the next trade we're going to put out, and she's still on the show occasionally, and she's going to take part when we do our Free Comic Book Day show.
Nice.
So she's still part of us, but she's not actively working on the books anymore. So we turned to Julia Cannon, who had been the colorist, and she had done some T-shirts and stuff, and so she drew the next 4 issues, and then we switched up again to somebody else.
Yeah,
Jen Moreno is doing.
So you mentioned trade. Are you going to have trades available at?
Yeah, we're going to have the first 2 trades available.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, and we're going to. I want to have a Kickstarter sometime this year because it'd be nice to actually get money to come in. And so we can continue doing the books and stuff. But yeah, so we're working on issue 28, which will be 2026. So
cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
that's great.
Yeah. Thanks for asking.
No, sorry. I'm interested to hear you go at WonderCon.
It's. I'm assuming. We went to WonderCon last year in the rain.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like, I don't know. All the energy was killed out of it or something? I don't know.
Wasn't raining inside though, was it?
No, but it was raining to get there and stuff. It just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same experience for some reason.
Felt weirdly like empty.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
who comes? Is there any celebrities come to this, or sort of people that go known, like out, in the space, or?
Yeah, there are going to be some comic book people there. God, I can't think of the guys.
You guys.
Well, yeah. Besides us, we'll have actual guests. I want to say Lee will be there one day. Jim Lee.
Oh,
Jim Lee. Wow.
And I believe. I mean, I haven't really memorized because I have a feeling we're not going to see anybody where we are.
Yeah.
They're going to have to wander over to us. But we're the people that were next to us at LA Comic Con, Drunken Flamingo. They're going to be there.
That's right.
And
cool.
Eric is going to have it. Eric is there as well.
Right.
Arega, whatever. Yeah, Eric will be there.
I think he's so there are multiple ways to pronounce it.
Yeah, as long as you get the Eric right with a K, he'll be there as well. So,
right.
And I haven't really looked at there may be other people there that we know, but we just haven't. It's still kind of a month off, but it's coming rapidly at us. We need to kind of get our.
Yeah.
There's like I haven't seen.
That's awesome.
I haven't seen a map of where I know we're SP5, which I believe is against the wall, but I don't have a map or anything. They haven't published anything that would, so we can hype where we are yet.
Right.
But it should be. I look at it as sort of the drunken flamingo people were talking. They've been there before, and they were saying this is actually people come to actually buy books, as opposed to LA Comic Con seemed to be a lot of looky-loos and other things to do.
Yeah.
This is more, hopefully, a little more, want to discover people and buy books. So hopefully, we'll.
I think you guys will do well.
Okay, thanks.
With you. No. I just feel like I'd love to come and visit. And
we haven't had the experience yet of someone coming and buying everything. You had our hopes up on that. We had somebody come in and buy. John Barber bought like 12.
Most of it.
Most of it. He had.
Yeah, that's right. I remember he's showing me the photo.
Yeah. So and
oh look, it happens. Like the last one I was at in Sydney. End of last year, I just totally did not. I found it so hard to sell anything.
Well, I'm just hoping that we can get our name out there, and if people want to buy, they'll get a business card. It's got on the back. We'll have a QR code to how you can sign up for the newsletter or shop for the books, and
keep that awareness out there.
But it's gonna be weird to be someplace that we would normally go for a day and be there for 3 days. Right?
Oh, it's a 3-day event.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow.
So it's gonna be.
Is it like from say 9 in the morning to like 5 at night, or
it's like 10 to 5 and 10 to 7 and something like that. Yeah, because it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right.
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you have to train like Rocky and get on a get on a plan, to be a stamina for standing up all those 3 days?
Well, we did 3 days at LA Comic Con.
Yeah.
So I think we
that
did
was
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did do. Okay. You're professionals now, you're veterans. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. No, it's just that we've never done it before, so it's the setup. But one of the cool things that was, I think, from LA Comic Con was when you're there setting up, so is everybody else. So there's like
like a.
You see how behind the scenes stuff. That's kind of cool, I thought.
Yeah, cool. I always enjoy that.
Yeah.
I always get frantic about that, trying to set up. I try to get there early, or sometimes you could do it the night. I don't know if it's like that over there, but you do it the night before, and
we're going to try to do it the day before.
Yeah.
And then we're staying down in Anaheim because
Is that
it's about
far away?
It's a 60-mile trip, 60-minute trip or something.
That
but
takes a while to drive.
Yeah, but after staying up all day, hey, let's drive. It doesn't sound appealing.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Anaheim.
Yeah, so Anaheim. Yeah, so we're right across the street from Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
maybe I'll come over.
Yeah. Fly up.
Just for 3 days.
Well, if you come, bring some books. You can sign them at the booth. No, it should be fun. Should be interesting, as I say, and we're hoping, fingers crossed, we're on the waiting list for Comic-Con.
Right.
And
That's the big.
Yeah, which is the big one. And last year they like a month before they said, "Oh, hey, we got a table available," and I was like, "I'm not prepared."
Right.
I'm not. So I don't have enough stuff. We didn't have stuff together. We didn't know what we were doing, and I didn't want to blow it the first time we go. So I kind of said, "I'm not ready to do this." Thanks for the advice.
So this is LA Comic Con you're talking about, the next.
No, the next one's San Diego Comic Con.
Oh, sorry, San Diego. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the big one, San Diego. And that would be in July.
So that's the one with Hall H and all that.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So
yes.
Shows how geeky I am.
Well, you have a Hall H. It's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Hall H, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's one of those people stay up all night to be first in line and stay the whole day. There's been occasions where they've been asking for, please come to Hall H, but we were doing something else at the time.
Okay.
We didn't want to see what it was.
Right.
But that's exciting.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Bump into cool celebrities and people that want to.
Want to buy our book and make it into a series? Yeah, that'd be great. No, I I'm hopeful that maybe if something opens up, we'll be better prepared this time because we'll have books and all the racks and the tablecloths and all that sort of stuff. Right?
Yeah. How do you guys go about your pitching your book to someone? Because I've been stuck in some situations where I'll have some people come up to me and they'll be like, they'll hold my book up and they'll be like, "What's the pitch?" Like literally just like, right in my face. But then other times it's like I've really got to. I feel like I'm talking too much about it, and then maybe boring the crap out of someone, and they just walk away. But it's like trying to find that balance,
Well, we just have it basically. It's Power Squared is a comic book about identical twin brothers who discover on the first day of college that they were granted superpowers by a magical yokai when they were younger.
Okay, that's cool.
So, right?
Yeah.
Too much, too little?
I think what ended up being more effective was you mentioned it's about twins that share superpowers, and then we say that they were granted by Kitsune, and then we
Kitsune.
bring up
Sorry,
Careless.
I was nervous here. Yeah, it was a Kitsune, magical Kitsune. Yes,
I don't
it's a
know
yokai, but it's magical. Yeah. So that's the. So we'll have to actually work on that a little bit more. But yeah,
no. I just find it interesting. Like there's one guy in particular that I watch here in Australia, and he just talks to people. He just talks to them, gets to know them, and then he hands them the book, and he turns over to the back of the blurb on the back, and he says, "Oh, here, have a read." And so he physically puts the book into someone's hand. And so they have to pick it up, and then they have to read it because he asked them to. And he basically
is he available to stand at our table? No,
but it's very subtle. It's like so subtle. You're like, oh, okay.
There are people like that. I don't think we're more introverted than that. So it's a little harder to be like, hey, bud, hey, come on over here.
He's not even like that. He's just like calm and casual. He's just, it's literally he just gets to know the person. I feel like he gets to know one thing about them, like the whole how's your day, blah blah blah.
I know your secret. Oh, okay. Buy your book. Don't tell people. No, we're I guess we need to work a little bit on it, but the idea is that we're trying to get people to, and hopefully if they're going to come all the way over to small press, before people would pass us, they were on their way somewhere else. If you're going to come over, you're kind of like you came over to small press to look at stuff. So I'm hoping that's a little different.
That's awesome, man. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to do it. I'm just interested in how people approach it. But, I
wish we were artistic and could draw in Artist Alley because you could probably make your money back.
You would. Yeah, that's the same here in Australia. There's some people that make stupid amounts of money in a day, and I'm like, okay.
I was thinking we could offer to write resumes or something, writers. Write you a blurb about your life, something like that for $20.
What was that story you guys were telling me about? Were you guys telling me that someone thought this was a college sign up for college?
I got an email one time from a nursing school asking about a nursing program, and I was like, it's a fake college.
That's good though. Created a world that's like believable.
We have a banner where you can sign up to enroll at the school, so
you should have someone out there with a clipboard at the table going, "Oh, would you like to sign up for college this year?" And,
we could have like a little
what class do you want
to, Well, we actually had racial design diplomas. So I was thinking with the next Kickstarter, we could give you a degree,
That's cool.
An associate of something degree, no PhDs or,
master's degrees.
I went to the San Ramiro College of Dentistry. None of that stuff,
For some reason, I was reminded one of the newsletters I read is Toby Fox, who created Undertale and Deltarune, and when you sign up for the newsletter, you have to include your name and your favorite food. And then occasionally with the newsletter, your name or your favorite food is worked in there.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
It's an automatic thing that's like
your name
woven in there.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
That's clever.
Yeah. Wow. I wish I was that clever.
You are. You guys are. Come on. There you are.
Yeah. But it should be a lot of fun. for us. I think.
I'm looking forward to hearing about it. I'm super interested. I know there's a couple of Australian. I think there's only one Australian guy that I know that has. I think he's gone over there and done San Diego Comic Con.
Wow. Okay.
And he's about. I think he's about to go to Japan either later in the year for some.
There's a huge thing over there, isn't there? They have like a huge anime kind of convention.
I believe so.
And there's supposedly a really big comic book thing in France.
Right. Oh, okay.
But
I'm just curious because I've seen a lot of Australian guys go over to the States and take their books and have a table and stuff. And I would just can't even fathom what the process would be like. I guess it's normal, but you just got to add a flight and accommodation.
Yeah.
It's just,
and I think the flights are pretty cheap between Australia and LA. So,
yeah, they're like
couple hours, boom, you're there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't take too much time at all. You'll be back by Sunday for dinner with the wife.
If Sunday means Monday afternoon, she'll be right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be I think fun and hopefully hopefully pick up some at least subscribers to the newsletter. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm keen to hear more. I'm really happy because I can live through you guys experiencing this. It's cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of hopefully a lot of fun. Hopefully people want to come over and see us.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what happens. But we're looking forward to your Kickstarter to bring it back around.
Sorry.
And it launches
2 hours. 2 hours later, literally.
We've had we did a couple of shows that went on for one went on for 2 hours.
It was Peterson.
Doug Peterson.
David
Peterson. And we had to
Mouse Guard.
We had to cut him off. He would have talked all night long.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm editing a webinar series at the moment for my job, and there was one. They pre-record the webinars, and then I just cut them up to cut the fluff out and tighten them up. Mm-hmm. But there was one guy in this panel, and he was going on for ages and ages. And we got to the end, and we're like, oh my God, what do we do with this? So we had to cut him back. But he just kept talking. It was good, but good for content. But,
we one time had John Barber on for 2 hours because we weren't sure we'd ever have him on again.
Yeah.
We've had him on one other time since, and he actually moderated the panel we did at LA Comic Con for us. But we were awesome. This is our one chance to ever talk to him.
You got to take it as you can. Yeah.
And David Peterson would have just kept talking if we he was like how long how long should the answers be as long as you wanted to be, and they were pretty long.
Yeah.
But they were very interesting.
Very interesting. It was a very interesting.
That's good.
Podcast.
It was worthwhile.
But we were just we're getting kind of hungry.
Need to go to dinner. I've got a reservation.
No, it was great, and but we always like having you on the show, and maybe we'll have you back on to talk about our experience at WonderCon.
Well, if you guys do the show, get me back on. I'll ask you questions. I'll do a rapid fire questions.
And we'll do our own reshoot stuff there and stuff. Yeah. We're also going to try to do it live from WonderCon.
Yeah, I wonder if I can tune in and chat to you guys live. What
Maybe.
time of the day would that be?
You could try.
I could try.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm up for it.
All right. Yeah. So March 8th.
9. Oh, 8 for you. 9 for me.
All right. Yeah. And it's Ned Kelly and the 5 Revolvers.
The 5 Revolvers, yeah.
Right. Okay. And so good luck with that. And we will put a link in the video in case somebody wants to look it up.
Please. Yeah.
And it'll be out a little before that, right? Yeah. So it'd be a chance for somebody to watch the video and decide they want to back the Kickstarter.
No, that'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
The more signal boosts, the better.
All right. Well, good. Okay. And hope it goes well.
Thank you.
If you're looking for a silent fidget toy,
yes, use our affiliate code Marty Neely to get 10% off your purchase at getono.com.
Right.
And if you're watching this on YouTube later and you like this, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and
comment about your favorite thing about Ned Kelly.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So until next time, I'm David Hankins,
I'm Paul Hankins.
and you've been on the air with Power Squared. Bye.